Hey, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd go ahead and give you guys some more insight on car dealings I have, what's going on and stuff. Um, kind of like a little, I don't know, pet peeve of mine or a rant, whatever you want to call it. I stalk Marketplace a lot. I'm always looking for deals like everybody else. You never know when you're going to come across something that you just can't live without. For some reason, there's a lot of them out there I can't live without. Yes, I'm still got my cold. I haven't gotten over it yet. But today's December 1st. Went ahead, took the Trans Am, moved it over to another garage, covered it all up. I actually drove it over there. So that was a nice feeling. I covered it up. I keep trying to put that damn mirror on that windshield that keeps falling off. I just figure it's just too cold. I'm going to have to wait until it warms up this summer and put that mirror back on there. Hopefully it'll stay on there. But anyhow, getting back to Marketplace. Tell you a couple things I've noticed and give you my 2 cents on it. I don't know if you guys will feel the same way or not. But one thing I've noticed on there are people are asking a lot of money for junk. And, they own the cars. They can ask whatever they want. But I think too many people watch car auctions on TV. It's pretty bad. You see a car out there in a field. They got a picture of it. For an example, like a 70 Cutlass Supreme. Nothing spectacular. Sitting out in the field. Been sitting there for years. And they want $7 grand for it. And yeah, there's no motor or tranny in it, but man, they got the title, so it's got to be worth $7,000. That's kind of crazy stuff to me. If it was a complete car, I still wouldn't give you $7,000 for it. That's just the way I am. Now if it was a 442 or W30 or something, totally different ball game. One other thing I've noticed on there are people have pictures of their cars in, like, let's say a garage, and all you can see is a door. They have stuff piled up in front of it, behind it, on top of it, and basically you see a door in the picture, and they're asking like $25,000 for this car. I just can't believe that. Is that how you treat $25,000? That's not how I treat $25,000. Damn. I'm not going to throw it out in my garage and throw a bunch of trash on top of it. But that's what these people do. And they think it's worth 25 grand. Now all you can see is a door. I'm not buying a door for $25,000. It just shows they have no respect for their car if they really think it's worth that much. Or again, they're watching TV a lot. Another thing I see is somebody will have a car on there, and I don't know, let's just take an example. Let's say they got a 70 Chevelle. Now, Chevelles are pretty expensive. They're worth a lot of money and everything. Well, they've got a picture of a 70 Chevelle with no motor, no transmission, no interior, and no title. And they think it's worth $15,000. I don't know what state you guys are in, but in Indiana, it is a real bitch to get a title for a car if you don't have one. And I see it all the time on there. Hey, I got all the paperwork. Easy to get a title for this car. It's no problem. If it's not a problem, why haven't they done it yet? Wouldn't it make more sense to go get a title and then sell the car? Man, people will jump all over it as long as you got a title and it's clear. So that's some of the things I've been running across on there, and it just amazes me. Or some really nice cars on there that they're offering at a fair price, but hey, they're keeping the motor and they're keeping the wheels and tires off from it. What's the deal, man? You're getting a hell of a lot of money. Go buy some new wheels and tires and get yourself another motor. I just don't know. I look on there and I'm just totally every day just chuckling and laughing at the junk on there that people think is worth a lot of money. I know classic cars have gone up, and they've skyrocketed. One other thing I've noticed on Marketplace. Have you ever noticed people that are selling four-door vehicles, how They don't tell you it's a four-door right off bat. And they take pictures of the front. They take pictures of the back. And if they're doing a side shot, it's either the front fender and the front door, part of it, or it's at an angle where you got to really look to notice it's a four-door. And they're asking just as much money for it as they would a two-door, which I see that. And once I figure out that's a four-door, I think if they're already trying to deceive you and trying to hide the fact it's a four-door from you, what else are they hiding from you? You know? So if I see anyone selling a four-door, I just shake my head and say moron. You know, just be up front and say you're selling a four-door. You know, you don't have to hide the fact. You don't have to go around it. I mean, taking pictures of all the angles except that extra door in the back is just so dishonest to me. And I can't see dealing with someone like that. You know, it's just, man, I don't know. To me, that's just dishonest as hell, or trying to be. And can you imagine someone looking at it and driving 200-300 miles to go look at it and find out it's a four-door because they didn't put in their description it's a four-door and they didn't take pictures showing you it's a four-door? That's just crazy and deceitful. You know, that's one of them other things that drive me up the wall on Marketplace. And also, when I was trying to buy cars on Marketplace, I do try to buy a lot of cars. I'll tell my wife. She gets really pissed when I bring more than one car home at a time. But anyway, when I'm trying to buy something on Marketplace and I message them and they say, oh, someone else is coming, yeah, they're not going to show up. You know, I tell people when I'm dealing with them, when I call them on the phone or when I'm messaging them, I'm serious. I don't go ahead and get in contact with you unless I really am interested in the car. I won't waste your time, and I'm sure not going to waste my time. You know, if I think it's worth looking at, I'll set a time and a day with you, and I will be there. I'm not one of those guys that are sitting in their parents' basement just doing shit because he ain't got nothing else better to do with his life. You know, I had one guy, I wanted a Cutlass, a parts car, and I called him, and I set up everything, and I showed up, and he says, I'm amazed. I am just amazed. He goes, I've had probably 8 or 9 people that had never showed up that said they would be here and everything. I said, yeah, that's the way people are. I said, I'm not one of those people. If I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. And I did end up buying the car from him, which really worked out. So that was a win-win for me. But yeah, Marketplace, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys that sell stuff on Marketplace and you're honest, you know what I'm talking about. You're going to have 30, 40 people asking you stupid questions and never showing up anyway. And there's just no way to find which ones are real, which ones are just bullshitting you, you know, which is upsetting too. I have the same thing. I sell cars, you know, I 3 Trans Ams. I got a guy interested in all 3 of them. I've already shot him a price. He's more than well with that. He wants them. But he lives almost 125 miles away from you. How are you going to haul 3 cars? You know, but, you know, he'll work it out. And he's been here before. He bought some Camaro parts from me years ago. So I'm pretty confident he'll come through and stuff. But, man, that Marketplace, it's brutal. I mean, only one time did somebody really make me mad on there. And he was selling a 71 Cutlass that I was in the market for before I bought my blue one. I seen it on Facebook. I looked at the pictures and I thought he was asking a fair price. And when people ask a fair price, I don't try to Jew them down. I don't try to run their money down. I don't make them offers. I will pay them what they're asking if it's a fair price. And that drives my brother and my family nuts because they're going, you know, you can save a few $100s talking them down. No, I think it's worth it. I'm buying it. If I don't think it's worth it, then sure, I'll try to get a little money off of it. But anyway, going back to the Cutlass. It was a 2-hour drive, one way to go there. And I talked to him on the phone. And I said, hey, I really want this car. I'm going to pay you what you're asking. I'll get to the bank first thing Saturday morning. They open up at 9 o'clock. I will be at your place before noon, and I'm going to take the car. Is that good with you? And he said, oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. No problem whatsoever. I said, are you sure? I said, if anything goes wrong, or if you sell it, or you try to decide you don't want to sell it, here's my phone number. Call me. Here's my wife's phone number. Call her. Let one of us know, because it's a 2-hour drive over there, one way. He's like, oh, no, it's your car. You're going to pay me what I want. I can wait. I said, okay, cool. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, I got my trailer hooked up on my truck. I'm sitting at the bank. As soon as they opened, I went and got the money that we agreed on. My wife and I headed over there. We get all the way over there. And I went by his house. I just drove past and go, oh, shit, that was where I was supposed to go. My wife said, well, there's a guy out front. I just seen him. I said, okay. And we go down to the next intersection. I turn the trailer around and go back. And there's no one outside. And I pull up there and I'm knocking on the door. And nobody's answering the door. I'm like, are you sure you saw someone? She goes, yeah, there was a guy standing there. I'm like, no one's answering the door. And I yelled. Nobody yelled back. I'm like, what the hell? So I call the number. I hear the phone ringing in the house. And the guy answers the phone. And I said, hey, I'm here to pick up that Cutlass. I told you I'd come over. I'm on time. It's only like 11:45. And he's like, oh, I sold that this morning. Like, what the hell do you mean you sold this morning? We had an agreement. Why didn't you call me so I could at least turn around and went back home instead of wasting 2 hours over here and 2 hours back? Oh, hey, I'm sorry, man. But I sold the car this morning, I can't do anything for you. And I said, well, why are you hiding in the house? I mean, obviously you feel guilty. And he goes, I'm not hiding in the house. I just heard your phone ring. You just answered your phone. And he goes, oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. End of story, I was pissed, 4 hours of my time wasted. And my wife wasn't very happy about the long road trip and coming home empty with the trailer. But so there are people on there that are idiots too. It's just the way it works out. So, Marketplace is a good place and a really bad place. So if you ever deal with me and I say, hey, my name's Troy Hart and I'm coming, you can count on me being there. Because I will be there. I'm a man of my word. One car story I'm going to tell you is about a school teacher here in my hometown. He's an older gentleman, really super, super nice. It's kind of crazy because it seems like everyone had him in high school. You talk to anyone, they know who he is. Everybody called him Papa Joe. Really super nice guy, Mr. Let's just call him Joe. Don't want to use his last name. But when I was in high school, he got himself a 79 Little Red Express, little Dodge Little Red Express. Brand new, bought it brand new. He drove it to school all the time. And it was the coolest, what teacher drives a Little Red Express to school, So I was pretty impressed by that. But that's been, 40 years ago, 45 years ago. But anyway, about 4 years ago, I seen that Little Red Express sitting in front of his garage with 2 flat tires. And it sit there forever. It's been there before that, but I never noticed the flat tires before. And I thought, wow, he's just kind of letting that thing rot right there in the ground. I wonder if he wants to sell that thing. So I stopped, knocked, no one's around. I thought, okay, so I left a note on it. Never heard anything. Ran into him like a couple of weeks later at a restaurant, talked to him about it. He said, he didn't know if he wanted to sell it. He don't know what he's going to do with it. I said, man, if you ever want to sell that, I really, really would like to buy it. And he says, well, I don't know if I want to sell it. So what if you do? And 3 or 4 months go by, and I ran into him again and said, hey, have you decided on that Dodge? He goes, I'm not going to sell it. He goes, I bought it brand new. Maybe later on I'll just send it to somebody and have them fix it up for me. He goes, it still runs and drives. It just needs new tires, new brakes, some other stuff, and a tune-up. And he goes, it's starting to show its age. I'm like, yeah, but man, that's a pretty cool truck. And I don't know, maybe a year goes by. I drove by there and it was gone. Wow, he's getting it worked on finally. And I ran into somebody else and they said, no, he sold it. I'm like, no, he didn't sell it. I said, I never heard anything about it. He didn't even let me shoot him an offer. They go, yeah, he sold it to somebody. Somebody offered him some money for it and he took it. oh wow, there's another one I missed out on, And it was a few months before I seen him again. And told him, I said, hey, you sell your little red express? He goes, yeah, somebody wanted to buy it really bad, and and I just let it go. And I said, you didn't even give me a chance. He goes, well, this guy's into Dodges and stuff, and I've known him a long time, so I just sold to him. I said, well, that's fair. I ain't gonna argue about that. And I still haven't seen it, so I don't think it's ever been done or anything. And then there's one more story I'm going to share with you right now. One of my wife's relatives, father, was a doctor here in town, and he had a '65 Buick Riviera. The doctor, he ordered it brand new. It was the 425 dual fours, black on black. Everything was black. Interior was black. And he had passed away long ago, and the son was given the car. Well, the son, when he got it, oh, this would be really cool. I could restore that. And he blew it apart as far as taking all the interior out of it and piling parts up. And then he thought, what am I doing? I don't know anything about cars. This would be stupid for me to do this. And I had gone to a family get-together, and I seen it. I said, wow, what are you going to do with the Riviera? I said, it's pretty rare to find a 425 dual fours. He says, I don't know. And I said, well, if you ever want to sell it, I'd be interested. I fix cars up. I enjoy doing it as a hobby. And I'll let you know. And months have gone by. I mean, literally probably 6-7 months. And I seen his wife, and I said, wow. I said, that's a pretty cool Buick your husband has. I said, I'd like to have that. She goes, oh, he sent that to the junkyard. I'm like, what do you mean he sent it to the junkyard? She says, well, it was laying in the garage, and he's looking at it, and he said he doesn't know how to fix stuff up. He doesn't want to mess with that car. So he just sold it to the junkyard. I said, well, I told him I was interested in it. She goes, oh, we didn't think you were serious. We didn't know you did that kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, I told him I was serious, and I didn't want to sell it. She goes, yeah, he said junkyard. So there has got to be somebody out there that was jumping up and down and thrilled to death to get a Buick Riviera with 2 4-barrels intake on it. I mean, how rare is that? And I thought, damn. Another one sent to the scrapyard that didn't need to go there. The body really wasn't that bad. It did have some rust, and it had a couple dents in it, but it was not trashed. And them kind of things upset me, But that's the way it is. That's it for now. Like I say, I've got tons and tons of stories.